Recently, a Capitol Police whistleblower testified before the January 6th committee for 90 minutes. Now, this individual has remained anonymous, so the public at large does not know who it is, but we do know they were a member of what was called the Blue Team with the Capitol Police Force during the Capitol riot. They have since left the police force. And according to an interview this individual did with Politico, they're worried that the January 6th committee is not taking the role of the Capitol Police seriously. Specifically, the many failures of the Capitol Police force during the January 6th insurrection. They believe, the whistleblower does, that these people on the Capitol are obviously too close to the Capitol Police. They've got good relationships with them. They have to trust them as part of their job to keep them safe. And because of that, they're blinded to the many failures that the Capitol Police suffered that day. And it's failures that, by the way, we have talked about here. Plenty of reports have come out showing these massive failures. For starters, they delayed sending backup. And that was one of the biggest ones. You have audio recordings of Capitol Police officers as early as 9 a.m. that day, which was long before the storming of the Capitol, many hours before it, radioing in and telling the force, we need more people. We need backup. We can't handle this. We are overwhelmed. That was an exact quote. We are overwhelmed. Backup never came. Then, of course, in the run-up to January 6th, we also know that the Capitol Police Department issued their little 17-page memo, I think it was, telling people on the force, you don't need to worry about these Stop the Steal folks. They're not really the threat. The big threat, they said, is going to be the counter-protesters. They said that these counter-protesters, meaning people on the left, were really the ones who were probably going to try to storm the Capitol. They were going to try to hide in bushes. This was all in that memo. We've talked about it before. They were going to hide in the bushes, and then when they think nobody's looking, they're going to try to get into the Capitol. So they got it wrong literally every step of the way. Even as their own officers begged and pleaded for help, they didn't give it to them. And that does need to be investigated. Not to mention, of course, we had credible threats. There was credible warnings that these individuals were going to engage in violent activities at the Capitol. And yet they still said, nah, don't worry about that. Worry about these counter-protesters. The leadership needs to come and testify. And it needs to be televised. This can't be another closed-door conversation where stuff kind of trickles out to the press. No, televise it like you did with the initial Capitol Police officers you brought in front of the committee, telling their horror stories about what happened that day. We've seen the heroes. Now let us see who screwed this up so badly. It's important that we know who these individuals are and that they are held to account. This was a massive failure in leadership on behalf of the Capitol Police. But as the whistleblower points out, the committee doesn't appear to be taking this very seriously. So it's likely that nothing is going to change. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you want even more Ring of Fire, we encourage everyone to like, comment, share, but most importantly, subscribe. And don't forget, you can find me on all social media outlets at Fair and Balanced.